Hello, guys. This is a review of the movie Bros, which should probably still be in theaters. Sad news though, I had actually already did a review for this movie. I recorded it and everything, and then I realized that my shirt was dirty, and I was like, I can't do this because it bothers me so much. And actually, it might be a blessing in disguise because I ranted. Um, for a long time about things that didn't really have a lot to do with the movie. So let's go ahead and give it one more try, but just keep in mind that I already went over a lot of the ideas. I tried to keep it fresh, but hey, it is what it is. And hopefully it doesn't show. It was like right here or something. Like, I don't know, whatever. Bros, I knew about this film months before the majority of the people who went to watch it knew about it, I would say. Because I stumbled upon it while searching for another film and I was so excited. I was like, an all gay cast, they're probably gonna be so funny in the way that I saw like the ads and everything. But it was kind of a letdown. Bros follows the story of Bobby. Bobby is this 40-year-old guy who's successful, he's trying to open an LGBTQ museum, and he goes to a club where he meets Aaron. Aaron is around the same age, but he has a very attractive body, a lot of muscle. He's also a very like masculine type of guy, like, hey bro, like, I sports, and he likes to mess around. So they start a relationship. um they didn't want a relationship to begin with, it just kind of happened and they went with it. The whole main plot of the movie is you know their struggle to nourish their relationship, keep their relationship, even though they are so much, um yeah, like very different from each other. I i like that they gave us a little bit of backstory on Bobby and how he was silenced from a little. Since he was a little boy, he was told to, cover up, don't speak like this, do this, follow this career, this is the right path, a guy should do this and not that. So I like that because later on in the movie, you see a lot of their conflicts arise from those moments in their lives. But it just didn't deliver in like a lot. I feel like a lot of the time in the movie they just talked about the museum, and they tried to put a lot of information about LGBTQ and what how this community came to be so strong, and it's important things. It's not like, oh blah. But I feel like if we want that, then we watch a documentary, we go to like a community convention, or we read a book. We I, I mean i speak for myself. I didn't go into this movie wanting to learn more, being that I am already in the community myself. Like, I did learn things, but I didn't go in this movie to learn. And they spent a lot of the time planning around this museum, and they just like deliver one-liners that are not that funny. Like, there's a YouTuber, his name is Chris. I think he's like Stan Chris on YouTube. Anyway, I followed him through Cali Sauce, Calvin, his straight friend. They made a video and it's this whole thing. Anyway, they went to watch the movie and they said similar things. That like it was just a lot of that, and how Bobby was all over the place. And he actually recognized the actors there. And I didn't. So that tells you a lot. I didn't recognize anyone in the entire cast, not even one person. I understood a lot of the references, so that's what made me chuckle throughout. Like, I went with my straight friend as well, and I told him, it's like if somebody was to tell us, hey, do you remember so and so from middle school? Do you? And then they said something funny. Sorry about the yelling. And then they said something funny, and I would chuckle. I'll be like, hey, ha ha ha, ha, yeah, yeah, remember, haha, because of just the association, because we did know them. We weren't like together in that space, so that. Sorry about that. The dog started barking. Anyway, yeah. One of the funny scenes that I could remember is when um, this guy is trying to figure out, this older gentleman is trying to figure out where he wants his money to go after he passes away. And Aaron works at that. So he's telling him something that I do with my clients is I ask them to close their eyes and think of the person that means the most to them or something like that. And the guy's like, share. He says, "You think Cher needs $100,000?" That was really funny. And what other? I mean, there were a few scenes that I thought were pretty funny, but for the most part, it was just light chuckles. Yeah, I mean that's it for the plot. That's what it was. It was okay. One scene that I want to talk about a little bit though is a scene where Aaron has his family over. It's like a holiday thing, and invites Bobby over. I think it's Christmas. It might be. And he tells him to kind of tone it down, like be chill, don't be like overreacting and stuff. And Bobby at first he's like, okay, sure, whatever. But when Aaron's mother mentions that she's a school teacher and her second grade student shouldn't be knowing, like learning about the gay community, then he just flips. Bobby starts telling her, well, that's why your son's unhappy because you weren't able to talk to him about these things and acceptance when he was growing up, and that's why rah, rah, rah. So if you watch the movie, then you know that that's a very important thing. So I like that, and I have something to say about that. For the most part, I think that people should be flexible enough to keep it toned down for a while other people are, let me um, give you more details because that sounds very homophobic, I suppose. Have you guys watched the third season, final season of Love Victor? Rahim, I think his name is. He has like families from the Middle East. His mom is Muslim, and then his uncle was coming over to visit, and his mom asked him to please, to because he doesn't even believe that gay people exist, and it's a whole thing. So she asks him to keep it, under the covers. And then he has a moment where he freaks out. He's like, I've been in the class in my whole life. He's gonna ask me to do that with my uncle. And the thing that I have to say about that is, dude, have you any idea how difficult it is for your mother? Your mother accepts you. She supports you 100%. She backs you up. How she didn't disown you, throw you, beat you, it's beyond me. She's asking of you to not tell her brother that you are gay because it's a crime. It's like you can't even imagine it. Why, if she is flexing over backwards and she's not ever, not for one moment, questioning you or criticizing you, why can't you do her a favor? In this particular scene with Bobby and Aaron Bros, I did lean more towards Bobby, and because Aaron's parents already know that he's gay, so then why can't he just tell them, hey, you know what, I hope you like him, he is a little bit ah ha ha. So hopefully that doesn't bother you guys, but it is what it is. But I think for the most part, especially now in real life, younger generations are very self-centered, very like narcissistic. It's all about me. Everything that goes through my pure mind is right, and I am entitled to everything, and everybody owes me apologies, and I could do no wrong. Have you guys seen Twitter as of late? All the cancellation, newsflash, you can't cancel people. It doesn't work like that in the real world. I think it's very problematic to when somebody questions you, even if it's something that you are very passionate about, have the open mind to be receptive of whatever it is that their side is, because you might pick up on something that you didn't know before, or at the very least maybe understand why they would think that, even if you don't agree. But to be so like straight, like it is what I say goes, and anything else is wrong and terrible, it sucks. It sucks that people go after people acting like they are perfect. And that's why I said people after people, because we are all humans. We all make mistakes. Nowadays, you can't fart. It was like, he farted and there was a child in the room. Did he? And everybody, hundreds of people go after that person and comment mean, horrible things. It's like, are you like Jesus? Are you Xena Warrior Princess? Like, are you amazing? What makes you above the person that you're criticizing? And I understand if it was like, oh, because dude, there are serial killers, there are rapists, there are like serious things going on. People that do these things, serious abuse of power, stripping people of their freedom. That's a crime. That's serious. Countries attacking countries for no reason other than just wanting power. That's something to discuss. That's something to get riled up about. And if I read comments and you're very passionate and you're like, hey, that's so, I understand. But for the most part, like with the whole Shane Dawson, I know that it's a very controversial subject, and I'm not gonna get it too much into that. I understand, for the blackface, if you don't want to support him for the jokes that he made, but everything that he is being accused of, from what I saw, was fake. It was a skit, is what I mean. It was acting. It was comedy. We see it in movies like American Pie, Road Trip, Euro Trip, those type of movies. It's the comedy that he was giving, and people are acting like if he did that in real life when his dick wasn't out. It was pretend. It was dark comedy. I grew up, I'm pretty sure, in the same public school district as attending the same school district as he did. So growing up in elementary, especially middle school and high school, that's the way that people talked. That's the way that things were. Was it perfect? Was it nice? Was it not harming anyone? Probably not. But that's the way that we spoke. Maybe one or two kids didn't get involved, but even I got involved at some point. Everybody, no matter how good they were, they said something that was very controversial, that was very hurting, that was very bad. But you don't see, torches being lit up to go chase after those people, because we would all be burning. Does that make any sense? Like, we are not perfect. So why are we doing these type of things? Gosh. Yeah, but to go back, because in the other review I really went into detail. I don't want to do that now. To go back to what I was saying, I hear you. I hear you that you don't want to go back into the closet, that you don't want to pretend. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm not telling anybody that. But if you do care about this one person that's in your life, and they care about you, and they've shown support, they showed that they love you, but they are related to somebody that's very important to them, and they can't like tolerate that, why can't you do them like a little favor? You know what I'm saying? And then like slowly ease into it, or find a way around it. I don't know, I just think it's pretty messed up. But at the same time, like I just said, if you don't want to, then you don't want to. If it hurts you too much, then it hurts you too much. But definitely do open your ears and your minds, because not every people think that, oh, if you're in the LGBT community then you are awesome. No, there's a lot of buttholes in the community. There's a lot of messed up people, a lot of criminals. It happens. Like with the whole Jeffrey Dahmer thing, I mentioned it in another review. People are like, misrepresentation of the it was what it was. Jeffrey was apparently, killing guys, and he was attracted to guys, so he was a gay murderer. They do exist. It is what it is. Don't try to cover it up. Another thing it'd be if people are like actually going on and saying all gay people are like, no, it's just like straight people. Everybody comes, Mexican, Asian, everybody, Muslim, Catholic, Christian, everybody, atheist, everybody can be a butthole and a criminal. Anyway, another point. Let me see what else I can comment on. Well, I couldn't relate to the movie very much as I didn't know anyone there. Like I was saying, when I was watching that video with where Chris and Calvin react to the movie, I was like, okay, well, I mean, Chris is recognizing these people, and he thinks that Bobby's like a very over the top. And I do agree that Bobby is very over the top, and not just Chris. I'm just saying him because like there's a video that you could actually go and watch, and I actually recommend their channels. But I read reviews. A lot of people were not happy with the portrayal of that character. I think that's what the character was about, but at the same time, it's just like for the littlest things that he flips. So it does become annoying a little bit, and like I said, it's just not relatable. And it doesn't have to be a directly like relatable thing. Like my straight friend was like, "Oh, it's because you're not a cis white male," but I am cis and I am male. I'm just not white. That's not the problem. I relate to Shrek because Shrek was judged before like people got a chance to know him. They would just be like, monster, monster. I remember that because a lot of people judged me just for like, you know, the way that they thought I was, and then they got to know me. It was a different thing. I identify with Maleficent. I understand the pain of having somebody betray you and they wanting revenge. Me as a little kid when it's like my you know, the kids that locked me in the bathroom. So I don't have to be or look like the person in order to relate to what they're going through, maybe something they said, learn from their mistakes or whatever. So the movie, I mean, it has substance. I'm not saying that it's just like, bleh, but I think it has too much substance at some points where they just like derail from the comedy and go too much into, you know, the politics of it. Um, False advertising, I think that's what it was. I think we were promised a comedy movie, straight up comedy, and we got something different, like a mixture of things. So I wasn't really happy with that. Sorry about the screaming, I hope you can't hear it. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say. It made me like chuckle. Like I said, it was okay. I would give it a rating of 6.5 out of 10 in its category. I don't think I'd rewatch it, and I think one of the main things that like one of the most entertaining aspects of the movie was the guy who played Aaron because he was just so attractive. Um, but I mean, yeah, let me cancel because there's a lot of screaming going on in the background. Hopefully, you can't hear it. But that's it for this one. 6.5 out of 10. Um, Let me know what you think about it. And thank you for watching.